All right, welcome back to the Big Dog Podcast. I'm Jason Reed, and as always, I'm here with Elisa Saunders. Today, we're talking about something that, honestly, I think gets overlooked way too often. How you can actually turn your compressed air system into a profit center. Not just a cost you got to swallow every month.
Yeah, and I love this topic because, let's be real, most folks just see compressed air as a necessary evil. But there's so much opportunity if you know where to look. And Jason, I know you're a big fan of two-stage rotary screw compressors, so let's start there. What's the big deal with these?
So here's the thing. A two-stage rotary screw compressor like Kaishin's KRS-P2 splits the workload into two steps. Instead of one big push, you get a first stage and a second stage, each handling part of the compression. That means less mechanical stress, less heat, and, this is the kicker, up to 15 to 20% more airflow compared to a single stage of the same horsepower. That's not just a little bump. That's a game changer for a lot of plants.
And the payback period is actually pretty quick, right? I mean, we're talking 2 to 3 years just on energy savings alone. I visited a plant last year. This was before they made the switch, and they were running a single-stage system that just couldn't keep up. They were constantly fighting pressure drops, and the maintenance headaches were nonstop. Once they upgraded to a two-stage, it was like night and day. The reliability went up, and their energy bills went down. I think they were kicking themselves for not doing it sooner.
Yeah, and it's not just about the energy. You get durability too. The KRSP2, for example, spreads the work out so you're not beating up your components. That means less wear and tear, and Kaishin actually backs it with a lifetime air-end warranty. That's pretty rare in this business.
And let's not forget Carlisle Construction Materials. They put in a KRSP2 with a variable speed drive and ended up getting an $11,000 rebate from their utility company. That's real money back in your pocket, not just savings on the bill. It's one of those stories that makes you realize, hey, this isn't just theory, it's happening out there.
Exactly. And with VSDs, you're getting even more efficiency at partial loads. So you're not just saving when you're running full tilt, you're saving all the time. That's what makes these investments so smart. And honestly, with two-stage units available as low as 30 horsepower now, it's not just for the big guys anymore.
Right, it's opening up options for a lot more facilities. And if you're still running a single stage and wondering if it's worth the switch, just look at the numbers. The payback is there, and the long-term reliability is hard to beat.
So let's talk about system configuration. Because honestly, even the best compressor can't save you if your setup is all wrong. I've seen it too many times. Folks relying on a single compressor for everything. And then when it goes down, the whole line stops. That's a nightmare.
Yeah, and that's where multi-compressor setups come in. You've got your baseload compressor handling the minimum demand, a trim compressor for those peaks, and a backup ready to go if something fails. It's like having a safety net, but it also lets you sequence the workload so you're not wearing out one machine faster than the others.
Exactly. And, I had a customer, this was a while back, who thought they could get away with just a VSD unit covering all the load swings. No backup, no trim. Well, guess what? Their main compressor tripped out during a critical run, and they were scrambling to get a rental in. It almost cost them a full day of production. That's a lot of money down the drain for something that's totally preventable with the right setup.
And it's not just about downtime. With a multi-compressor configuration, you can actually reduce your electricity usage. You're only running what you need, when you need it, plus maintenance is way easier. You can take one offline without shutting down the whole system. It's just smarter all around.
And if you're using a VSD-equipped unit like the KRSP2, you can even skip the trim in some cases, but you still need some kind of backup. Even if it's just a quick connection for a portable unit, you gotta have a plan. Otherwise, you're just rolling the dice.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people underestimate how much flexibility you get with the right configuration. It's not just about avoiding disaster. It's about running leaner, saving money, and making maintenance a whole lot less stressful. And honestly, it's one of those things we keep coming back to on this show. Plan ahead and your system will pay you back. All right, so let's get into remote monitoring, because this is where things get really interesting. Kaishin's AirWatch system, for example, uses a wireless cellular modem, so you can check your compressor data in real time from your phone, your laptop, whatever. No more fighting with IT or dealing with factory network headaches.
Yeah, and that's huge. You can set alarms, track maintenance schedules, see your energy use, and even share access with your distributor or tech support. It's almost like having a continuous audit running in the background, and honestly, it saved a lot of folks from some nasty surprises.
I've got a story about that, actually. There was a plant manager I talked to who got a late-night alarm on his phone. Turns out the compressor was pulling way more amps than usual. He caught it before it turned into a major failure. If he hadn't had remote monitoring, he probably wouldn't have known until the next morning, and by then, it could have been a disaster. Sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference.
And even if you don't have remote access, Kaishan's standard controller shows you critical info right on the screen. Amps, volts, all that. So if you see something out of whack, you can jump on it fast. No more guessing games.
It's all about having the right information at the right time. And, as we've talked about in past episodes, the more you know about your system, the better decisions you can make. Whether it's maintenance, upgrades, or just day-to-day operation.
Absolutely. So, if you're looking to turn your compressed air system from a cost center into a profit center, start with the right equipment, set up your system smart, and keep your eyes on the data. That's how you stay ahead of the game.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Big Dog Podcast. We'll be back soon with more ways to make your compressed air system work for you. Jason, always a pleasure.
You too, Lisa. Thanks for listening, everybody. Catch you next time.